What's up guys, Joey Salads here, and mass shooting situations are happening more and more frequently. And the problem is many people don't know what to do in these situations. So today we're going to be going to a professional to teach us what to do in the event of a mass shooting. Now please watch this video to the end and share it with a friend because this might actually save your life.
An active shooter situation, they vary greatly from one to the other. No two are going to be the same. They're a very dynamic, unpredictable incident that you truly don't know what's in that shooter's mind or shooters' minds, that, you know, what they're after or what their goals are. So what you have to start thinking about is today, before it even happens, before you're even there. What will I do when I go, you know, to maybe a school or a building that may be a target of an active shooter? The first most important thing to do with thinking about active shooters is prepare for it. And you prepare today for tomorrow. So what do you do to prepare? Every time you go into a building, you need to look for where the exits are. What's the quickest way out of that building? What parts of that building would be good to hide in for shelter? You want to hide in secure rooms where you could lock the door and make sure it's a secure door. You know, you have the little, hollow panel door isn't going to stop anyone from busting through it. But if you see a room with a metal door with a heavy deadbolt lock on it, that's something where you could go into and lock it down where he shouldn't be able to get in there, or at least until the police get there. And you need to take notes of all these things within that environment, of how I get out quickly. If I can't get out quickly, because the shooter is between you and the exit, where is a good hiding spot? Maybe if you're going to go into a classroom or an office, is there another exit outside of that, out a window? If you're putting yourself in a corner, you truly got to think about, is that door that's preventing that shooter from coming in strong enough, or the structure of it strong enough to protect you from him? You don't want to get cornered, as we saw down in Orlando, in the bathrooms where he could walk in and there's just nowhere else to go. So now you get to a location, shots are fired, and there's people running, and it appears to be an active shooter situation. What should you do? Well, the first thing you should do is evacuate or run, get out of there. And this is where that being prepared comes into play, where if you know your exits, you hear the gunshots and you see people running away from a situation, you should already know your exits of where you're going to go. I wouldn't worry much about what you're carrying. If you're carrying bags and books and stuff, drop them just so you can get out of there in a hurry. It's your life may depend on it. What happens next is, if I'm not able to run because that shooter is between me and the only exit, what do you do next? Well, then the next thing you would do is look for a hiding spot. Look for something out of view, something that's secure, that you could block the entry, and possibly that, another room or office that leads you to a possible egress route, which could be a window, another door into another hallway that could bring you out another way. And again, this is all if you prepare correctly every time you go into a building, or into a situation where there could be an active shooter, you already have those answers. The other thing you should do is, if you're hiding out and you're trying to be quiet, make sure you're shutting off the ringers to your phones and electronic devices. You don't want to be sitting in there and him listening or trying to look, or she looking in or listening, and your phone goes off. He'll know someone's in there. Lastly, if running doesn't work because there's no egress route, and then hiding, there's no good hiding spots, the last course of action would be to engage him or fight. And that would probably be your best chance of living. If he's walking through or she's walking through and firing shots at everyone they see, and you're that close to him that he's coming up close to you, then you need to take action. You need to engage him and try to unarm him. Try to take the gun away from him or whatever he's using. And if you're going to be aggressive, this is the one time in life where you need to be really aggressive, because you can't quit. You got to fight for your life, and that's what you're fighting for. If you're going to fight and you're going to get hit, he's going to hit you, you better be ready for the punch or the hit or the some very aggressive fighting. But you do need to win that fight if you're going to live. So that's all very important things, and that fighting and engaging would be your absolute last resort, where he's going to pick the gun up and shoot me, or I got to fight for my life, and that's where you do it. Another thing in general that's very important to take into consideration is in these situations, it's very easy to be panicked and scared and afraid, and that's all fine, but you need to stay calm. If you don't stay calm, your chances of surviving would probably be limited and lower. So you stay calm, you could think things through. As hard as it may feel or be, you need to think about this in advance. If this happens, I'm going to be prepared for it. I know my exits. I know, from walking in this building where I'm going to hide if I need to. And then if I have to, I'm going to fight. But all along, you stay calm. And you think things through better when you're calm. When the cops arrive, hopefully it isn't too long. You try not to have anything in your hands. If you're able to, if they approach you, you show them your hands. You show them you have nothing. No quick movements, reaching into your pocket for an ID card or a wallet or something like that could be very dangerous. The cops, again, don't know who the active shooters are, so you want to keep your movements to a minimum. And don't stop to ask them questions or anything like that. If you want to direct them to where the shooter is, where the injuries, people are that are injured, or the description of the individual, that's one thing. But you don't want to stop the officer from ending this active shooter situation by asking him questions like, if you have information to give him, you give it to the officer, and then you just continue on with your hands up. And I would continue with my hands up until you're in safety and well away from the scene, because even though you passed that one officer, there could be 2 or 3 officers coming behind them. And then if you're picking up your stuff with bags and stuff, they may see that and mistake you for one of the shooters or shooter. So if you have a legally possessed firearm, that's a damn good question, Joe. It really is a good one. There's 2 ways to look at this. If you're a licensed firearm holder and you legally possess it, well, the reason people have licenses to carry firearms is for safety. The majority of them. There are a small group that are just strictly target and competition type permits, but the majority of people carry them for safety. So wherever you may be or wherever you got your license, you had to take safety courses, and certainly you adhere to the local and state laws. But that's a situation where you could utilize a firearm to end the threat of this guy killing everybody. Reason it's a very dangerous situation even for you, because as the cops come on the scene, they know somebody's shooting and they know it's probably a bad guy, but then they come around a turn and see you with your gun out. It's a very, like I said, that's going to be a tough one. But certainly if I was armed in an active shooter situation and I had a opportunity to end the threat by using my lawfully possessed firearm, I absolutely would. But then just keep in mind that the cops responding aren't going to know you're licensed to carry the firearm. They just know someone's in there shooting and killing people, and we're going to go in and stop that threat. General guidelines: if you could stop the threat safely, stop the threat safely. But then just keep in mind that you have the police coming and they're not going to know you're licensed to carry that firearm.
Thank you guys for watching. Please drop this video a like, share, and subscribe. Please share this with everybody you know. I hope this saves lives. I hope you guys learned something. And I'm Joey Salads, and stay safe. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos. Drop this video a like, and check out some more videos. Click the thing right over here for another video, and click it, and it should be a nice video to watch. So yeah, go do that. Click it, subscribe.